So you know what? I got something for you. Hold on. I got the perfect hat for this. But y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Hold on, look at this hat right here. Flat out, Roy. What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. So, I guess it's true. My guy Karrion Kross, the person I've been rocking with since Lucha Underground, is actually done with WWE along with his wife. Now, I made a video yesterday suggesting that this whole thing is a work between Paul Heyman, WWE, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett. It was all a work, to get the fans upset so they can get behind Karrion Kross. And once they get to this point, they're going to actually give us Karrion Kross. But after seeing what I saw on both their social medias, it seems like that's not the case. So at this point, I'm sitting right here, right before you, wrestling family, and I'm going to say this. I still believe it's a work, okay? I'm going to stand 10 toes deep. I'm going to tell y'all this.
The truth, the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth. I got a conspiracy theory as to why this whole situation is happening as it is, and we'll talk about it once we cross that path. But before we get started, guys, if you are new to the channel, if you love pro wrestling, if you love to have fun, hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get into this video.
What is
I can't
going on,
wait
guys?
to talk about this, y'all. I can't.
Here, back
Let's
with
get
some more
to it.
news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Karrion Kross done with WWE. Are
Yeah, okay.
WWE really fooling everyone about this? Karrion
think
Kross
so.
reveals the truth. CM Punk is called out. An injured star returning to WWE. WWE makes a permanent PLE change. A top star confirmed for a PLE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now our first story looks at Karrion Kross done with WWE. Now our top story today takes a look at the latest when it comes to Karrion Kross, and it looks like Kross as well as Scarlett are done with WWE. It was well documented that Kross's WWE contract was set to expire yesterday, and Kross took to X to confirm his WWE exit and reveal that he's now accepting bookings on the indie circuit. This announcement led to significant attention online, as Kross was now trending #1 in the US for an extended period.
This is what they wanted.
His goodbye message via X short and sweet, and it was likely due to the public release of his documentary. This wasn't the case with his wife Scarlett, as she took to X to release an official statement on her WWE departure. My time in WWE has been an incredible ride, and I can truly say it's been the best locker room I've ever been a part of. These people aren't just co-workers, they're family. I love you all, and I'll deeply miss seeing you every week. To the fans, you've never just been a crowd. You've been our partners in every fight, and the reason we give everything for this. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. The next chapter starts now, and I'm ready to bring something unforgettable to any stage anywhere in the world. If you want the smoke show on your show, let's make it happen. Our fans
She got a Yahoo account? Ugh.
been quick to share this
I got one
to
too, I'm
both
playing.
talents, and as things stand, both are now free agents to explore new opportunities. But are we getting worked by WWE?
That's
And
the part I wanna talk.
The Karrion Kross situation has led to a lot of fans believing that the entire ordeal is one big work.
Me
This
too.
belief isn't exactly misplaced, as WWE have turned virtually everything into a work recently, and the debut of WWE Unreal hasn't exactly slowed this down. But in relation to whether Kross leaving WWE is a work, well, Fightful Select provided an update, and according to the reputable source, the departure currently is totally real. Sources in WWE, both on the talent end and the creative end, claim that they've been told that as of now, the departure is real. To make it clear, there's always been the possibility that Kross and Scarlett's situation is a work, and we've long said that it wouldn't benefit them to tell people that they've signed. As a result, many of the promoters we've spoken to aren't sure if they should be reaching out to Kross and Scarlett. If it is a work, Scarlett, Kross, WWE higher-ups are in on it together, and the creative and talent are being worked. It's always possible that WWE will turn what is a real-life situation into a work, especially if Kross returns to the company in some capacity. It was also mentioned on the Wrestling Observer Radio, the belief in WWE is that Karrion Kross is going to be back, but we'll see. They're not telling anyone anything, but everyone is pretty skeptical. It's like, are they working the boys on this if he comes back? You can say yes, but it's not like they're being fooled. It's not like guys are coming and going, oh no, he's really gone. No one is saying that. They're just sort of like, we don't know and whatever. If Kross ever does return to WWE and re-signs with the promotion, then turning the contractual situation into an angle makes all the sense in the world.
Yep.
Kross's frustrations are grounded in reality, and it'd be bizarre if WWE ignored this. Karrion Kross has now revealed...
Okay. Let me put it on full screen. We got a full screen. Oh, hold on. Let's do the other full screen. That's just... There we go. All right. So I got a conspiracy theory about this whole... Actually, you know what? I got something for you. Hold on. I got the perfect hat for this, because y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Y'all not gonna believe this. Look at this. Hold on. I got y'all. Hold on, look at this hat right here. Flat out, Roy. Tinfoil fitted hat, baby. Conspiracy theory thoughts, boy. All right. Now, I look ridiculous because what I'm about to say may sound ridiculous to y'all, but I'm going to stand 10 toes deep, and I'm going to take this off in a few seconds because I feel like it's going to get hot. But anyway, when it comes to Karrion Kross situation, guys, here's the thing. It's one or two things going on here. It's literally what I told you guys before, that this whole thing is a work from the get-go. Paul Heyman said what he said on the Ariel Helwani show for a reason. I told you guys, they are trying to agitate the fans to a point to where all the fans get behind Karrion Kross. And once they get to a certain level, boom, they bring Karrion Kross back. I know people think I sound crazy, but guess what? They didn't believe Noah. Guess what? Muggs wanted to get on that arc when their toes started getting wet. They didn't want to believe those nerds on those apocalyptic movies. Guess who was right at the end of the day, right? And even at this moment, now I will say this. I really believe that he actually allowed his contract to expire because I don't take Karrion Kross as a liar. You know, even if it's a work, I don't think Karrion Kross would want to lie about this whole situation here. So what I think is happening is that they allowed him to get released, right? If he hasn't already signed already, him and his wife, of course, so that everybody inside, so no one can leak that he's still signed. So I think he's legitimately let his contract expire, but I think they have plans for him re-signing soon, like probably right before his return happens. Watch, guys, hear me out, and I guarantee you, he's going to come back. Now, for all the people who come through here trying to slide me in the comment section, you can slide me about my hat, but about this theory, when he comes back, I don't want to see y'all flip sides. I'm going to screenshot y'all, right? I don't want y'all coming back saying we knew it. No. Don't do that. I'm going to screenshot it. I'm a big Karrion Kross fan. I don't play about the wrestlers that I like. This guy is extremely talented. It will be crazy and a huge mistake for WWE not to capitalize on this situation. It doesn't make any sense for them not to capitalize on this. And I know they got shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees and they got the booking information out there. Cool, whatever, right? But I'm going to give it till we get to like Survivor Series, right? I'm going to give it till we get to Survivor Series. If we don't see Karrion Kross on the show, even if we see him in another promotion like a GCW, that don't mean anything to me because they do that while they're signed to WWE. But if we don't see him on the show, about time Survivor Series come, I'm not even going to give it that long. We'll say about a month, right? Because to drag it out that long will be kind of crazy, and I think they'll miss out on capitalizing on the fans being behind them. We'll give it about a month tops. And if he's not back on the show somehow, some way, that'll tell you everything we need to know. And tonight on Monday Night Raw, we about to get some crazy We Want Kross chants. Watch. This is all part of the plan. Bro. All right? But anyway, let me switch my hat because this is kind of uncomfortable and we'll continue with the video. All right, let's continue.
The truth. Karrion Kross's new YouTube documentary is an interesting watch.
I'm excited, bro. This is going to be so good for Karrion Kross.
Kross delves into his WWE tenure, and a lot of his comments don't exactly paint WWE in the best light. One of the things Kross revealed is that when he started to gain momentum in WWE, he was told directly not to acknowledge the positive reactions from the audience. I remember in the beginning, some people were saying, hey, I wouldn't take it seriously, it's not going to last, or let's see if it's for real when you go out there tonight, or if it's still there when we're in a different city or state. When it was still there and it got louder and louder every week, that went away and we're not really ready to fully embrace that. I was being told by certain people, don't acknowledge it, which felt really wrong, because having a connection with the audience, especially one like this doesn't just come around for everybody.
If he comes back, he gotta be a babyface.
This led him to feeling frustrated in the WWE. I don't feel like we're all collectively going in that direction that the audience would like us to go in. That part doesn't feel good. Things feel effed. It's impossible to ignore it. I don't want people to feel like they're being ignored, and a lot of them do, which is why it's getting louder. I knew this was going to happen. If we didn't lean into what the audience was asking for and what they wanted to see, they're going to get louder. Pretending it's not there or convincing ourselves that it's going to go away, it's not. Before his program with Sami Zayn, Kross was mainly being used on WWE Main Event, and it was unbelievable to witness the crowd going crazy for him on a show that virtually nobody was watching. Karrion Kross also addressed Triple H. Well, one would assume that Karrion Kross has a personal issue with Triple H. Triple H is the one that runs WWE Creative, and Triple H evidently doesn't see Kross as an upper echelon main event level star. But with that being said, during his documentary, Kross did confirm that he wasn't referencing Triple H in his initial shoot promo with the guy in the suit and tie comment, and that it was a metaphor. Kross did, however, take aim at Triple H for his actions at SummerSlam. Following SummerSlam, the crowd were chanting "We want Kross" directly at the game, and Triple H would act as if the crowd were chanting for Brock Lesnar instead. According to Kross, ignoring the crowd is bad business, and it ultimately turns fans away. You can't ignore the crowd in this business. You can try, it's not going to be good in the end. You don't want to make your audience feel like they're not part of this. You can't tell them that they're a part of this and that they're the universe, and they're so heavily involved in every aspect of it, and then like on the whim tell them that certain subsections don't matter. We can't do that. That pisses people off and turns people away.
He's going to become the people's hero right there, man.
Kross is certainly right in the sense that ignoring the audience never works out for wrestling companies. It'll be interesting to see if WWE or Triple H have any rebuttals to Kross's comments, or are they just going to decide to ignore the noise? Next up, CM Punk called out.
Okay,
A Maven is a name that doesn't shy away from his real opinions, and on his latest YouTube video, the former WWE star discussed the new WWE Unreal series. Maven drew specific attention to CM Punk, and according to Maven, Punk is the same guy he's always been, but he did note that Punk didn't actually need to change his behavior.
The brand new and improved lighter side of Punk that Hunter claimed he heard over the phone or met in person or saw and said, "Hey, let's give him another shot." That's all bullshit. The moment he's saying that Seth is a version of him and that's why he's got this WWE universe, it's because he's stealing from me. That tells me he's the same dude. But I didn't think that dude needed to change anyway.
Now, it's unclear how exactly Maven knows that Punk hasn't changed, but a lot of WWE talent and Triple H himself have outright stated that Punk has been nothing but a joy to have back in WWE.
Yeah, and for Triple H to say that, that tells you a lot changed with CM Punk at this point in time. Because Triple H was not going to say this before. He nowhere near this, right? So how would Maven even know that? Like, that's, like, I respect Maven, but this is just, I don't know. This sounds very clickbaity, and that's not Maven's thing, bro. So, I don't know.
Next up, CM Punk buries the hatchet. Now, speaking of CM Punk, he recently buried the hatchet with former Raw general manager Eric Bischoff. Over the years, Bischoff hasn't had the nicest of comments to make when it comes to Punk. Bischoff made these comments despite never meeting Punk in person, but according to Bischoff on his podcast, he met Punk backstage at Raw and the two made amends. I'll just tell you what I said. I said, "Man, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've said some pretty stupid shit. Just want you to know I'm glad to have an opportunity to meet you in person. I'll give you my half of the conversation, and he could do with that what he wants." Bischoff will go on to label Punk.
But hey, he's the same person. With the CM Punk from a long time ago that took the WWE Championship, would have done something like this? Probably not. Probably not.
Punk as a classy individual, which is certainly a far cry from the insults that Bischoff had thrown at Punk in the past. Next up, an injured star returning to WWE. A former NXT champion could be getting set to return to WWE television. According to Corey Hayes on X, Ilya Dragunov is expected to return to WWE programming relatively soon. The popular star picked up an ACL injury in 2024, and the news of his impending return will no doubt delight fans. Let's just hope they don't stick him in that El Grande suit and make him number 5. Next up, a top star confirmed for a WWE.
Guys, let me know in the comment section. Who would you guys, what title you want him to go after? Should he have a match against Dominic Mysterio and take the IC title? Because I personally believe if Karrion Kross coming back, that's laid off for him. But hey, whatever. Do you want him to come after that? Or do you want him to have a match against Seth Rollins and lose? Right? Just to kind of put him in the heavyweight title scene. Let me know in the comments.
WPLE. Triple H took to X yesterday to drop the official poster for Clash in Paris. The poster features Roman Reigns, which therefore means...
In the background, guys, if you didn't know, that's... Oh, crap. I don't even have this set as the... Yo, I am tweaking.
...is that Reigns will indeed be wrestling on the show. There's now speculation on what match Reigns could compete in at the big event, as Reigns still has a personal issue with Seth Rollins, and with Rollins also having issues with CM Punk and LA Knight, it would make a lot of sense for WWE to deliver a fatal 4-way. Reigns also has issues with Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, and with Reed hilariously stealing Reigns' shoes once again on Raw, a singles match between the two is also a distinct possibility. Next time Roman sees Reed, he's gonna turn up with these bad boys. Next up, WWE makes a permanent PLE.
I like that they used Starry Night from Vincent Van Gogh as the background. I think that was pretty dope.
Change. Now, SummerSlam saw WWE move away from the post-PLE press conferences. It's widely reported that WWE did this as they wanted to avoid questions focused on Brock Lesnar, but according to WWE correspondent Pete Rosenberg on the Cheap Heat podcast, the new format is much better. Based on his words, it's a format that's here to stay. When we would do these post shows, we're all hyped talking about what happens, and then it's like, hey, we're gonna throw it to the press conference, and then goes to a quiet room inside where like a group of 20 people is awkwardly pretending to be media. It completely killed the show. It just ended up sucking the air out of the room. I think I saw some of them that were just like, obviously they miss it, but I think a lot of fans were just like, we weren't feeling the press conferences anyway. Now, the press conferences were an interesting idea, but it was often an odd mix of kayfabe and reality that never truly landed for fans. And finally...
I always thought that, even though I did like it in like New Japan and stuff like that, and a little bit of AEW, I just felt like, it just felt weird, because it's like, okay, what put you in the mindset to help you win this match when we all know that it's predetermined? So it's like, you can't really get an interesting conversation out of that. And I appreciate their attempt of trying to make it more sports-like, but when it comes to like, basketball, football, soccer, or whatever you guys watch, asking somebody those questions means something completely different than it does asking a professional wrestler that same question, But yeah, that's just me.
Bloodline story will never end. Our final story today takes a look at the status of
I believe it
WWE's
too.
Bloodline story arc, as it looks like WWE have zero plans to end the storyline anytime soon. Reigning US champion Solo Sikoa spoke to WrestleZone, and Sikoa stated that the story is still in the third inning. I don't know if anyone remembers Paul Heyman saying it's still the third inning. It's the third inning. I mean, to me it is. There's still plenty more to come. I still think that means for both sides too, with Heyman and Roman and what they got going on, and us too. For Paul to say that he's not even here and we're not even on the same team, but it's the third inning. We're just getting started. At the original Bloodline
The third inning, what are you going to do for 6 more innings? I don't...
was
guess there's only one way to find out.
WWE, and it without a doubt contributed to the company turning their product around. And sadly, the same couldn't be said for the current Bloodline story arc on SmackDown. Sikoa's faction feels massively underdeveloped and lifeless. And it's hardly a surprise that fans continue to question why the faction is continuing to receive significant television time on a weekly basis. The original storyline and faction thrive thanks to the expertly handled character development, yet Sikoa's faction has had very little, and it's definitely a factor in why the group is failing to connect to the general audience. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories.
I mean, not to be like that, but SmackDown is the Samoan brand, all right? That is the Fatu brand, all right? So, it is what it is. Specifically, the U.S. title division, that's the Samoan division. Let's just be honest. It's just a bunch of Samoans fighting over the title. Not saying that I don't like any of them. I like Jimmy. I like Jacob. I like Solo, personally. I like Talafala. I like JC Mateo, okay? Tama Tonga when he comes back. Tonga Loa is a different conversation. We'll talk about him in the future. But anyway, I do like all those guys. But it would be interesting to bring other people into the mix, and not to sacrifice the division trying to keep a Bloodline storyline going on that doesn't necessarily need to, in my personal opinion. But hey, you know what? I've been wrong about it. There's been moments where the original Bloodline got, started to tick downward a little bit, and then they found new ways to kind of put it back up in a new direction, whether it be adding The Rock to it or adding Sami Zayn to it. So who knows? You never know. We just got to wait and see. So anyway, at the end of the day, let me know how you feel in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, we got the Raw live stream tonight. We want Karrion Kross. Salute. Peace. Have a great day.